This is ROH ring announcer Bobby Cruz, and this week on Throwback Thursday, we take a long look back at one of my favorite Ring of Honor matches ever. It is a four-corner survival match from the Rexplex in Elizabeth, New Jersey, featuring CM Punk, Samoa Joe, the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels, and Steve Corino.
It's four-corner survival time. We have perhaps the most superstar-laden four-corner survival ever. There you see Christopher Daniels, the leader of the Prophecy. Your ROH World Champion Samoa Joe offering a handshake to Daniels.
He's not going to go with that.
Instead, shaking the hand of CM Punk, the leader of the Second City Saints. And then you have the super obnoxious Steve Corino as the other man in this four-corner survival. Of course, it's one fall wins it, no elimination, no saying, hey, I'll let somebody get this fall because I'll just get the next one. One fall wins this one. And when you have these four individuals who have so many issues between each other, there is no telling what's going to happen. As look at this, Joe, Punk, and Corino trying to bait Daniels into a handshake. Everyone knows Daniels is going to break the code of honor and he won't shake hands. That's what the Prophecy is all about.
And after that scramble cage match, I needed a breather, and I got it. Boy, can that Bobby Cruz talk or what?
Oh, I didn't think that was ever going to end. And how obnoxious was that ring entrance by Corino, basically running down the ROH title by showing the history of the ROH title compared to the history of, what was some Southern title? I mean,
NWA Southern title.
I mean, that meant something in like 1983, but in 2003, it means absolutely nothing. I don't even think Corino's defended that belt more than one time.
And speaking of more than one time, I believe that Steve Corino and Christopher Daniels have only hooked it up one time in their history. And after what happened earlier this year, it looks like they're going to hook it up now, Chris.
You're right about that. These two, they've had a friendship for so long. That friendship, of course, has been damaged with the history in Ring of Honor, but they have never met in the ring before. Corino ended 2002 at Final Battle 2002 by telling Daniels, I'm going to start my group, and I'm going to my group's going to rise to dominance here over the Prophecy, because at the time the Prophecy had all the titles. In the end, the Prophecy won that war, but Corino actually was never part of that Prophecy group war, as he left Ring of Honor after the riots in New York City at the first anniversary show, and wasn't seen until Bitter Friends, Stiffer Enemies, when he had that brutal bloodbath match of the year candidate versus Homicide.
That's a great point there. How can a guy have a group and he doesn't even show up? His whole group got dismantled. He wasn't even there for it.
Yep, and then he returned against Homicide and lost his hearing in that absolutely brutal match. And I guess he tried to get some revenge earlier tonight with that despicable act against Homicide. Of course, Daniels isn't going to shake hands. But going for a real quick update on Homicide, I heard he is on his way to the hospital right now to get his ear checked out, as Corino, he lost his hearing in that Bitter Friends, Stiffer Enemies match on that slap from Homicide, and he's tried to get his receipt tonight. Absolutely disgusting, especially after Homicide was in that absolutely brutal show-stealing match against B.J. Whitmer.
And I think Steve Corino is telling Daniels to throw the first punch here. This is what happened earlier in the year. These guys never hooked it up, but I think they're just gonna wrestle right here, Chris.
Oh, what was that? CM Punk bashing Daniels, and don't forget it was Steve Corino on 8/16 who stooged off to CM Punk that he believes that Daniels is behind the attack on Lucy. Of course, Lucy taken out in Dayton at Wrath of the Racket, and we've had an investigation going on to find out what happened, and it's turned up nothing.
3 months after the fact, and we still don't know who did it.
And right now, Joe and CM Punk, this could be a big money match for the ROH World title down the line, and Punk went right after Daniels, but he gets met by Joe.
And Punk continually going after Daniels here, as we have Punk and Joe hooking it up. They did have a non-title match back in August.
What about Corino saying that Daniels and the Prophecy are behind the Lucy attack? He's got no proof. He's just trying to stir trouble.
And that's what Steve Corino does best, stir trouble.
As he is arguing with CM Punk, of course, they had that classic last week in Spencerport, but Daniels now taking it to Punk. Now, you saw Punk earlier with Colt Cabana, and he said, hey, this isn't about the Field of Honor to Colt Cabana, about his match with Damoff earlier. It's about the Prophecy Second City Saints, and I got a feeling this is a war that's on the verge of erupting. It's just going to take one incident for it to really happen, and with all the shenanigans with what happened to Lucy, who knows when that's going to happen.
And Daniels holding up Punk, making him think about it right here in Elizabeth.
You know, one thing interesting about that whole Lucy situation is the fingers are pointing at the Prophecy, but Dan Moff has sworn on his father's grave, he did it last week in Spencerport, that the Prophecy had nothing to do with it. And if you saw Wrestle Rave, you know how serious of a statement that is, as Daniels drops Punk down, letting the blood rush to his head first.
And Daniels just trying to make a statement here, going for a cover. No, not enough.
Well, I think eventually what you're going to have is an issue between the Second City Saints and Prophecy over who is the dominant faction here in ROH.
And here, what a match we're going to have up here with Samoa Joe and Chris Daniels after what happened back on September 20th. What a world title match that was as Samoa Joe defeated Daniels. Daniels, I think he thinks that he deserves another shot at that ROH title.
Daniels so close, perhaps the most heated ROH world title match ever. In fact, the the timekeeper even rang the bell and thought it was over. Daniels feeling he should have the title, feeling he was ripped off in that match. And what an absolutely unbelievable world title match that was at Glory by Honor 2. I'd love to see a rematch, as now Joe giving Daniels a taste of his own medicine, holding him up there, letting the blood rush to his head, and dropping him with a suplex. What a world champion Samoa Joe is, so dominant. And what was he talking about with Capetta at intermission? That he's going after Cornette later tonight? That's going to be something to keep an eye on.
Well, I think he definitely has to lay in a receipt to Cornette after what happened at the beginning of the show tonight, having the Briscoes turn about on him. And what an issue between the Briscoes and Samoa Joe. There's just so many issues here in Ring of Honor. It's hard to even keep track of them.
It's hard to even call the action when there's so many issues going on that you have to discuss. As we have Daniels and Corino face to face again, and they are finally going to lock up here in Ring of Honor. There it is, one more time. Both men, neither getting an advantage. And now a headlock by Corino. He takes down Daniels. I can't believe we finally got to see these two lock it up here in ROH.
And what a heated headlock there by Corino as he's cinching it in. So much pride on the line in this one.
And what was with Corino, though, offering Daniels luck in his world title match against Samoa Joe at Glory by Honor 2. You saw it on the home release. And then Corino basically stabbing Daniels in the back, saying he was behind the Lucy thing to Punk. Daniels returned by calling Corino a snake. Corino took offense to that. So things are really sizzling between these two.
And it all involves a lot of it with Steve Corino right in the middle of it, stirring up the mind games.
Steve Corino always causing trouble. And then he runs away like he did against Homicide after the riot, like he did after he started the group Prophecy War. And now he's trying to shake hands with Daniels. This is just ridiculous.
Steve Corino trying to add insult to injury here in this four-corner survival match here.
You know what? I am personally insulted by that ring entrance by Steve Corino. I mean, who is he to try to say the Southern title is better than the ROH title, given that history? I mean, those names were from the 70s. I mean, it was great hearing those names, but come on. That was 20 years ago.
That was another century when you think about it. And Daniels and Corino.
Another shoulder block, another standoff.
You ain't shit.
We have a stalemate here in the Rexplex.
And Corino having some words for Daniels. Daniels now, who's going to get the first advantage between these two? Daniels knocks Corino down.
And you know that's got to piss off Steve Corino. As we see right there, the hot-headed Steve Corino, the king of old school, pretty pissed off on the floor.
He is frustrated. What about that match last week between Corino
and Punk again?
That's like Punk's third cheap shot on Daniels.
And Steve Corino making friends with the fans as usual.
CM Punk definitely has it out for Daniels. And are Punk and Corino kind of working together here?
It almost seems like they're in cahoots here.
I mean, after what we saw last week on Spencer Port at Empire State Showdown, I mean, what a great match between those two. And then that game of one-upmanship between them. And then they tried to one-up each other on that ring entrance, but then it seemed like they were friends. Then it seemed like they were enemies. I mean, it's just something you have to see for yourself at Empire State Showdown.
Steve Corino is just a man that cannot be trusted. And Corino goes with a miss. Daniels firing up on the king of old school in the corner.
He's taking it to the 0-1 star, whipping him in. Clothesline on Corino in the corner. Daniels looks a little tired. He might want to think about tagging out, but who do you tag out to if you're Chris Daniels? You have that long-running feud with Samoa Joe that's seen one attack after another, and CM Punk is obviously out to get you. As beautiful leg drop there by Daniels, and Corino tries to roll out, but Daniels pulls him in. And there's Punk making the save for Corino. Once again, Punk and Corino, I guess you could say, kind of working together in this one.
It seems that way right here.
And look at Corino offering the hand again. You all know Daniels isn't going to shake hands. And he hits Corino with the boot.
Corino just buying time right there as he just dumped Daniels out to the floor.
We have action on the outside now as it's breaking down between these two. Steve Corino now looking, firing with a big chop on Daniels.
A vicious strike right to the fallen angel there on the floor. What's Corino going for here now?
A reversal.
A couple reversals.
Daniels jumps into the ring. Maybe he's going for a dive. No, a baseball slide, but Corino blocks it. And Corino takes that steal.
And the king of old school is down on the floor right here.
Daniels definitely getting the advantage over Steve Corino. What's he going for now? Beautiful Arabian press to the floor.
Nicely executed there by Daniels. And now Punk and Joe are in the ring. And a big toe play by Punk as he just took out Daniels and Corino.
And the ROH World Champion alone in the ring. The dominant champion as he hits the ropes. Samoa Joe takes out the whole pile of bodies. Samoa Joe and Daniels, they have that war. CM Punk, a definite contender for the world title, so Samoa Joe wants to eliminate him here. And what about Steve Corino? I mean, he's supposed to be Samoa Joe's friends, and he was making overtones at the title. And the fans want the ole ole kick.
And Joe, he's setting up everybody. Samoa Joe is a one-man gang on the floor, literally.
Samoa Joe could very possibly eliminate the challenger to the world title right here tonight as he kicks Daniels.
And here we go, Chris.
He takes Daniels' face off.
Looks like we're going to have multiple ole kicks here in the Rexplex. And Corino at a disadvantage.
And CM Punk, oh! CM Punk trying to Hurricanrana. Joe blocks it and dumps him on the guardrail.
And Samoa Joe is taking care of business.
Ole kicks all the way around.
And CM Punk, he might be dead on the floor after that collision. What was he thinking, Chris?
The crowd going nuts for Samoa Joe, the honorable ROH World Champion, a man who made that title a world belt. Last time here in the Rexplex, he defeated Paul London, choked him out in the middle of the ring. Joe now taking Chris Daniels. Chop. And a kick.
And the champion's gonna follow through with a big knee drop right there.
And a cover. And you know what's interesting when you look at Samoa Joe and Chris Daniels going at it? These two hate each other. I mean, Wrath of the Racket, Samoa Joe saved Jim Cornette from the attack from Chris Daniels. Then Daniels laid him out at Bitter Friends, Different Enemies. There's been other attacks, and now these two are going at it, especially after that world title match at Glory by Honor 2. But not only that, both these men hate Jim Cornette and are going after him. And Samoa Joe says he's got something planned for later tonight. I'm kind of fearing what that's going to be.
And Daniels firing away with forearms, but is met by the ROH champion. Just tossed him, excuse me.
Over the head, belly-to-belly suplex. Daniels is in a lot of trouble. He desperately needs a tag. But, I mean, again, if you're Chris Daniels now, who do you reach for? Look at Corino.
That? Right behind his back.
Corino disrespecting the champion again. And what was with what Corino said to Joe at Glory by Honor 2? He definitely made overtones that he was going to go after that title. And, wow, nice butterfly suplex there by Corino. But Corino's the one who he was the first, he made Samoa Joe the first member of the group besides Simply Luscious. I mean, they're supposed to be friends, and now Corino's jealous that his friend has a title or something? I don't understand what goes through Steve Corino's head.
Can you imagine Steve Corino as the ROH champion?
It'll never happen. The thought just makes me sick to my stomach. And look at Corino taking advantage of Chris Daniels on the ropes.
Corino following up right here. Daniels with the sunset flip, rolls through, count of 2. Not enough, and Corino gets a punch right to the face.
He just leveled Christopher Daniels, the leader of the Prophecy.
Allison tags in Punk.
And you know, Allison Danger, you notice she has not recovered from that STO she took from Samoa Joe earlier in the show. She is not at ringside tonight, and I'm missing that because I like to look at her.
I don't blame you there. And Punk following up with a choke and now knees to Chris Daniels.
And we have the Second City Saints versus the Prophecy in the ring right now. After what we saw at Do or Die, after the speculation about who took out Lucy, this is one intense issue. A big suplex by Punk, and he slaps on a chin lock.
Why is Steve Corino, what's his problem with the fans here? Why is he yelling at them? That's ridiculous. Now Punk wearing down Daniels. Daniels taking a lot of punishment, probably the most in this match so far.
Daniels desperate for the tag, but can he tag Steve Corino? Can he trust Steve Corino? I mean, he even called Corino a snake, and Corino took offense to that. I mean, Corino stooged him off as a man who took out Lucy to CM Punk, but can he tag out to Samoa Joe? He hates the RH World Champion, and he's going to have to make a choice right now because he desperately needs it, and he's got an opportunity to make the tag at this moment.
But he went to the wrong corner, but luckily he raised his boot and follows through with a nice neck breaker. Time to go for a tag.
Joe wants in. Joe wants to eliminate a future challenger for the title. And here's Corino. He's in, and here's Samoa Joe. We have Joe and Corino. And Punk comes in. Joe fighting off both Corino and Punk like they were a tag team. A reversal.
And Joe grabs him and plants him down. Steve Corino in a lot of trouble now. And what's this?
Oh, he takes out Daniels. Oh, a boot for Corino. Didn't quite catch him the whole way, but he caught CM Punk with that one.
Wow, that was like a three-way face wash right there. And now laying the big boot right to the face of Corino.
Samoa Joe is just cleaning house on all sides.
He's eliminating all his challengers at once here, Chris. And now he has Corino with those Kawada kicks. And he's got him in a nice German suplex.
With a bridge. Corino kicks out.
Still not enough.
And none of these men can afford to lose to the RH World Champion because they want future title shots, and that's definitely going to hurt them in the top 5 rankings. As you know, right now, all these men want to get a high spot in that top 5 rankings because it's prestigious just to be mentioned among the top 5 athletes in ROH, and that gets you right into the world title picture.
And the top 5 will change later tonight as we have AJ and Danielson going for the #1 Contenders Trophy. But we'll get to that later as Joe and Corino are fighting back and forth here.
They exchange slaps. These two don't like each other. It's breaking down between Corino and Joe. Corino with those forearms. Joe fighting back. What a bruising match. Big chop levels Corino.
The ROH champion taking down the king of old school right here. What will he follow up with next?
I'm still surprised that Corino made overtones of going to that title and then had the nerve to disrespect it. And there's more double team work from Corino and Punk.
What is this all about? And a nice neck breaker there by Corino, but definitely Punk and Corino are working like a tag team here in this match.
I mean, that was such a unique situation last week at Empire State Showdown. I mean, I've never seen anything like that with them trying to one-up each other and then that great match. And the way that it ended, I can't tell whether we're going to see them as a tag team or another match between these two. And Joe goes right through the double clothesline and takes both men off their feet with big clotheslines. Joe might want to consider making a tag, and Daniels tags himself in. Who would have ever thought you'd see Daniels tag Samoa Joe? And they are fighting against the effort of CM Punk and Steve Corino right now.
And Daniels cleaning house here on Punk and Corino. But now they're working as a team, but wait a second.
A miscommunication, and they're shoving each other. Both men going at it. And Daniels connects with a moonsault press on both men.
But no, not enough. And Daniels, again, taking on 2 guys.
And a double clothesline by Punk and Corino. They clotheslined each other, and they're not working so great as a team if that's what they're doing.
This association seems to be dissolving here right in the ring, and a Blue Thunder driver by Daniels. But still not enough. Punk kicks out.
And I mean, even those ring entrances at Empire State Showdown, that was something else too.
And Daniels, double jump moonsault.
Oh, right on the knee of Punk. Punk's in a lot of pain. There's a cover.
But no, Joe breaks it up.
That's the thing about these 4-corner survivals. You have to make sure no one is around to make the save. It's so hard to get that pin because the first fall wins it. Big power slam by Joe. Corino making the save. Once again, you have to make sure no one is around when you go for that fall.
This shows us how important a victory in this match would be for all 4 guys. And Corino has Joe. He's going for the DDT and he drops Joe down.
Hashimoto style. I feel like we're in Japan.
Ogawa STO, and he plants Joe now.
Oh, but it didn't have any effect on the big ROH World Champion. And Corino is pretty much making an ass out of himself right now.
Corino doesn't know what's in for him.
And it's Samoa Joe with a kick to the gut, scoops him up, plants him with a powerbomb. And Punk goes after Daniels.
Almost with a modified Shining Wizard, and Joe has Corino in an SDF, excuse me, but Punk breaks it up with the baseball slide.
And Punk once again coming to the aid of Steve Corino. CM Punk now limping. You know he wants that ROH World title. He wants to be known as a top man here in Ring of Honor. He wants the Second City Saints to be known as the best faction. And he wants to know who took out Lucy. And he wants out of that SDF because that is causing pain all over his body.
Somebody needs to break this up real quick or Punk's going to tap.
Punk hanging on with a dear life, and there's Steve Corino helping out CM Punk.
His buddy, I guess.
Enziguri by Daniels on Corino. What a pleasure seeing Chris Daniels and Steve Corino finally hook it up here in ROH.
And a nice slam there by Daniels.
I'll agree with Chris Daniels on that one. It is the best moonsault ever. And Chuck LeGrand rolls Corino out of the way and takes it himself. Dean LeGrand sacrificing his own body. And that's not interference.
Wait, he just lariat Punk. What's that about? I thought they were working together.
And now Daniels slams down Joe. Everybody's down, including Chuck LeGrand, who, by the way, did not interfere. He simply pushed Corino out of the way. I mean, I guess that's a form of interference, but you really have to attack someone to cause a DQ or break the code of honor.
But Corino, he threw a lariat on Punk there. That just proves you can't trust the guy.
Who's getting up first? It looks like Punk and Joe. Joe going to the outside. Punk now hooking Daniels. What could he be going for? Daniels backdrops Punk over. The Prophecy versus Second City Saints. And there's Corino going to the top. Daniels sends Punk to the outside. It is really breaking down here in Elizabeth, New Jersey, right outside of New York City.
Oh, wait a second.
The Muscle Buster. That's what finished off Homicide. No, Daniels breaks it up.
And now Daniels and Corino working together now.
The Muscle Buster might have been the only move that could defeat Homicide at do or die, but Corino is saved from it. And look at Corino and Daniels working together to take Joe down.
With a big superplex right there, and the ROH champion is down. And Punk's going for a cover. He should have covered Joe. Joe was the one who took the move.
You know, and there's a cover.
No, not enough.
You know, don't forget that Punk and Corino slapped Punk at Glory by Honor too. What was that all about? I mean, there's no telling what's going on between these two. As right now, they got Daniels and Punk. Oh, Daniels with an STO on CM Punk.
Beautifully executed there by the Fallen Angel.
And now Daniels and Corino collide. They're going fist on fist with each other, back and forth. A boot to the gut.
Corino's got him.
Northern Lights bomb.
That could be it, Chris. But no, Joe breaks it up.
Oh, but now Daniels is on top. The ref, Gary Moore, didn't see it.
And Punk just saved Corino again.
I mean, the slap between Corino and Punk at Glory by Honor too. The unique situation and great match we saw at Empire State Showdown. And now, hold on. There's Joe and a Punk. And Daniels, he gets a big slap to the back by Samoa Joe, and a super kick by Corino. The Orange Champion's in trouble.
And wait a second, Angels wings on Joe.
Daniels can finally get the elusive pin on Joe, but Joe rolls out. Joe rolls out. He might be a non-factor in this one, though. And Corino with the cover on Daniels.
Oh, so close. He almost had it.
What an ego booster it would be for Corino to pin Daniels. Daniels now up and over, goes for a roll-up. Daniels wants a pin on Corino. No, there's Punk. Daniels has Punk to glass strikes. No, now Corino. They turn him over to Northern Lights. Double Northern Lights, double pin.
Wait a second.
Who won?
They both pinned them.
They both hit the Northern Lights on Daniels, and they both had the cover. What a confusing situation. Can we get an announcement on the winner?
The referees are conferring in the ring. We need an announcement from DeAngelis, an official announcement.
We need a decision here.
Punk and Corino both think they won, but...
I mean, they both did win. They both had Daniel's shoulders down.
And LeGrand in there, throwing in his 2 cents.
And then we have a decision. 2 winners.
Did I hear that right?
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has ruled that both men scored the pinfall. Therefore, there are 2 winners of the match. CM Punk and Steve Corino.
Wow, I mean, there's no telling what's going to happen between these 4 individuals in the future.